Hi, I'm Dominic Esposito, the drill instructor, and this lesson's about cue ball deflection. As you already know, using English is an important part of the pool game because it allows you to position yourself for the next shot. Also true is that using English complicates even the simplest of shots. The vast majority of shots are missed when English is used. The reason is simple. When you use English, the cue ball doesn't always go where you aim it. And that's cue ball deflection for you. Sometimes it's called squirt. Now here I am set up at center English, aiming directly at the one ball, and I'm going to shift my cue 2 full tips to the right. And I am using a high deflection shaft, but I am aiming directly at the one ball. And now, as I shoot, notice the extreme deflection to the left of the one ball because I was hitting the right side of the cue ball. Let's do that on the opposite side. And as I shift to the left, 2 tips of English, aiming directly at the one ball, again, the deflection of the cue ball is to the extreme right side of the one ball. You'll notice in slow speed how much the cue ball is missing the object ball by, both on the right side as well as the left. That is the amount of deflection that the cue ball is squirting from the 2 tips of English. You'll notice now that I am using a predator shaft. This is a 314-2, and it is the exact same shot using 2 tips of English to the right and 2 tips of English to the left. And in both cases, you see that I am hitting nearly direct contact on the object ball. Now on this drill, what I'm going to teach you is a shot that's so common to us. We see cross table, the one ball is frozen to the rail, and I'm using center English on the cue ball. And if I were to turn that in with an inside English, using 2 tips of English to the right or 2 tips of English to the left, using my high deflection shaft, aiming directly at the back of the one ball, so my cue ball contacts the rail and the object ball at the exact same time, with 2 tips of English to the right. With my high deflection shaft, I'm going to be far off to the left, not even touching the one ball. Now, the same shot using 2 tips of left-hand English, but I'm still aiming directly at the back of the cue ball. I've missed the one ball completely. Now here I'm going to use a standard common cue that has a common deflection variance. And using the same 2 tips of English to the right, but aiming exactly at my contact point on the one ball, and I've actually missed the one ball completely. Okay, here I'm going to use 2 tips of English to the left, aiming directly at the back of the one ball and shooting. Notice the spin on the cue ball because it has hit directly on the head of the one ball, even though I was aiming clearly for the back of the one ball. Now here I'm going to use my Predator 314-2 shaft, and I'm going to again apply the same 2 tips of English to the right, aiming directly at the back of the one ball. And as I pocket the ball, aiming straight at the back of the one ball as though I were using no English at all. And again, using 2 tips of left English, but still aiming directly at the back of the one ball. And again, pocketing the ball. Notice with the position of the cue balls you see here, the cue ball to the high end and to the low end was using that high deflection shaft with 2 tips of English. And in both cases, we clearly missed the one ball. Actually using a conventional shaft with 2 tips of English, when we aimed at the contact point on the one ball, we wound up hitting directly head on the one ball. And what that would mean is with a conventional shaft and cue ball deflection, you would actually have to aim at the head of the one ball with 2 tips of English to the right in order to be assured that your cue ball will land approximately in the back of the one ball to make that. What I did with my Predator 314-2 shaft was I aimed at my contact point using 2 full tips of English, and I made perfect contact when I pocketed the ball. In this next drill, I'm shooting directly into the corner pocket, and it is a straight-in shot. I'll apply 2 tips of English to the right, and I'm using the high deflection shaft, aiming directly at the 1 ball, and I actually missed the 1 ball completely. Now, using a standard deflection shaft, this is conventional to most common shafts that most players are using, with the same 2 tips of English applied to the right, aiming directly at the 1 ball. And there I've made contact with the 1 ball, but it is not even near making it in the corner pocket because the deflection has caused the angle of the aiming line of the cue ball to change substantially. Now, using my Predator 314-2, I'm going to, again, align a straight-in shot with the 1 ball. If I use dead center English, it would be a dead center shot, but I'm going to shift 2 tips of English to the right and shoot, and there, fire the 1 ball directly into the corner pocket, and notice the extreme spin on the cue ball after the shot. When I used the high deflection shaft, I didn't even hit the 1 ball. When I used the standard deflection shaft, my aim was so off to the left of the 1 ball that it actually caused the 1 ball to strike into the rail nowhere near the pocket. But when I used my 314, my shot alignment was almost so perfect that even after the 1 ball was pocketed, this cue ball almost went in the same line spinning as a result of using my Predator cue. Not only are Predator shafts designed to reduce cue ball deflection, they are the lowest deflecting shafts on the market. And that will greatly increase your chances of making your shot when you apply English to the cue ball. Predator produces more spin than any conventional cue, which makes it easier to draw the cue ball, follow it, and move the cue ball around the table. Unlike with other cues, you won't have to compensate or shoot harder to get the cue ball action that you need. Even the pros recognize the advantage. That's why a majority of us choose Predator without being paid to do so. Now do you understand why Predator's motto is, take your game to the next level?